Hello everyone, welcome back to the day 2 of Live Your Life 30-Day Challenge. My name is Mona Abdurrahim Santel from Mind Your Power, mindyourpower.org if you want to check out the website. I am glad that you're back, and I hope that you did write down yesterday something that you want to work on, something that you want to achieve, some kind of goal that you have, something that you want to do to make use of that time that we have now, that we spend at home, the time that we have that extra time that we got. So yeah, looking at it as a gain instead of loss. We gain a lot of time. You think about how many hours do you spend in traffic sometimes, or in the car. Anyway, back to our goals. If you did not write down your goal yesterday, then please pause the video right now and go back and do that. For those of you who have, I'm curious, is it really a goal? The thing is that in my practice, a lot of times when I work with people, many people don't really know what they want. And that's a big problem. Because if I don't know what I want, I will never reach. Right? Make sense? So, the first thing that we want to be clear about is, is the goal that you wrote down really a goal that you really will achieve? And a lot of you probably know what a SMART goal is, because that's whether you're in business or at home, you probably heard of that expression, SMART goal. Just for those who have not heard that, let me just write it down. So a goal has to be Is that clear here? Let me get that a little bit closer to you. That's right, yeah. So a goal has to be SMART. And in order for it to be SMART, I'm just realizing that this is the other way around. I will actually take a picture of it. Anyway, think about these letters. Now, in order for it to be SMART, it needs to be, the S stands for specific, right? So a lot of times people would say, for example, I want to spend more time with the kids, or I want to, let me put this further away now, or I want to have more money, or I want to be better at work, or I want to learn more languages, or I want to be kinder, nicer to my husband, to my wife, whatever it is. This is not specific enough, because how will I know what more languages means? How will I know what kind means? Yeah. So I need to be specific. The M stands for measurable. That means that I have to know how to measure it, because if I don't know if I cannot measure it, I don't know if I reached my goal or not, right? And the thing is, if I don't know if I reached it or not, I won't be satisfied, because I need to have an end point. I need to know, yes, I did it, to be satisfied, to be happy. A stands for achievable, because if it's not achievable, you will never be happy again, right? I can say I want to fly to the moon next week. I'll never reach that goal. Realistic, relevant to something that is important in my life, something's going on in my life, and timely, time-bound. That means it has to have a specific time frame to it, so that I know, when do I measure it? Yeah. If I want a specific amount of money in my bank account, I need to say I want it at the end of the year, or next month, or tomorrow, or in 10 years, whatever it is. So that's pretty much what everybody knows. Now, the thing is this. As a hypnotherapist, I know that emotions drive our behavior. So let me draw for you here an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg everything that you see that we're aware of, that we know. Yeah, it's like, if you want to compare it to a computer, that would be the screen of the computer, and that would be the hard drive where the programs are stored. Yeah. So again, that tip that we're aware of, that tip that we see, whether it's a screen or the iceberg, that's our conscious mind. But it's only that small tip of the iceberg. And in that conscious mind, if I want to put conscious here, this is where we think. So this is supposed to be a brain. I know it's... Anyway, it's a thinking part. You know, a lot of times we think, here again, we think that we take conscious decisions. We think that whatever we analyzed and rationalized and put down onto paper is because we are clever and because we thought it through and because we spend time making our lists and thinking about it. But you know what actually makes the decisions? That's the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is everything that you're not aware of. And here we have, here we have the brain, here we have the heart and the feeling. So here we think and here we feel. And you know what? If we think, you don't feel, and when we feel, you don't think. What do I mean by that? When we sit down and analyze a sentence and focus on that sentence, we are here. But that's the only time. Everything else is driven by our emotions. Everything else is driven by how we feel. And you know what? Even though sometimes you think you're making decisions from here because you have a pro and con list, and that pro and con list has everything that you need to know, and you've analyzed every single point. But let me tell you something. On that pro and con list, who actually said that this was good? Who actually said that this was something to dismiss as a con, right? Who decided that this was something important or valuable? This is something that you have inside of you. These are filters that are stored in the subconscious mind, and they are our values, our beliefs, what we grew up with. And even though we think we wrote down everything and we analyzed everything, well, that analysis was driven by our beliefs, by our knowledge, by what we think is true. And all of that is subconscious. And all of the subconscious is feeling. So, whoops. So, why am I telling you all of that? Because I want you to add to the SMART goal 2 letters that are really important. E and R. Exciting and rewarding. Exciting and rewarding. Because every time you have a goal and you make it emotional, and that's really here where the excitement and the reward comes in, it's because of the emotions. Tell a child it has to do something. It will say, no, I don't want to. But then tell your child the reason, the purpose, the why it's going to do this. Because there is a result at the end. Because there is a reward at the end. Something that is exciting to them. Something that really makes your heart beat faster. Then you'll do it. So now the challenge for today is revisit the goal that you wrote yesterday and check it. Is it a SMART goal, first of all? Do you have enough details in there? Is it specific enough for you to know exactly what language do I want to learn? How do I want to learn it? In which time frame do I want to learn it? What do I want to do with my children? Spending time, that's not enough. What exactly do I want to do with them? how many hours, when, where, etc. Write it down specifically, because also one part of that subconscious mind is that power of imagination. And the more we imagine things, the more they will become reality, because we work with our guts, we work with our feelings to reach that imagination. So the more you make them smarter, the more you put excitement in there, the more you put a purpose behind it in there, and the more you put a reward at the end of the day. And by reward, I don't mean a reward that comes from someone else. I mean an intrinsic reward, something that comes from you, something that, a purpose that is driven by your inner why, by your inner gut, by your inner, why do I want to do this? Have fun with it. And that's the first step. If you don't have this, no point putting goals for the next days, for the next 30 days. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye. Mona Abdurrahim Santu with you from Mind Your Power.